If you were to change your life for the better, where would you start? Would it be a grand gesture, a sweeping resolution, or something much smaller, so small, in fact, that it almost feels insignificant? In The Small Habits Revolution, Stephen Guise argues that the most powerful and lasting changes in life come not from dramatic transformations but from the tiniest, most manageable actions repeated consistently. This book builds on the concept that small habits, when strategically chosen and consistently practiced, can lead to remarkable personal growth and transformation. The book begins by highlighting the common pitfalls of traditional goal setting. People often make grand resolutions with the best of intentions, yet they fail because they rely too much on motivation, which fluctuates. The problem with large, overwhelming goals is that they demand significant willpower, something that is limited and easily depleted. Instead of relying on sheer determination, Guise proposes an alternative, creating habits so small that they require almost no effort. By doing so, he argues, we bypass the resistance that comes with large commitments and allow these habits to become second nature. The key principle of this method is that success breeds success. When you set a goal that is too large, failure becomes an ever-present risk, leading to discouragement and ultimately abandonment. However, when you focus on small, easily achievable habits, you experience a steady stream of success, which builds confidence and motivation over time. For example, if someone wants to develop a habit of reading, they don't need to commit to reading 50 pages a day, they can simply commit to reading one sentence. This removes any internal resistance and makes it easier to stick with the habit. Guise delves into the psychological mechanisms behind habit formation, explaining that our brains are wired to conserve energy. Anything that requires too much effort is often avoided, while habits that demand little energy are more likely to stick. This is why small habits work, they don't activate the brain's resistance to change. Once a habit is established, it can naturally expand, much like a snowball rolling down a hill. The trick is to start small enough that the habit feels effortless, which makes consistency almost guaranteed. The book then explores how small habits interact with identity. People often define themselves based on their actions, and these self-definitions influence future behaviors. If someone consistently engages in even a tiny version of a habit, they begin to internalize the identity associated with it. A person who writes one sentence every day starts to see themselves as a writer. Someone who does a single push-up starts to view themselves as a person who exercises. Over time, this shift in identity reinforces the habit, making it easier to maintain and even expand upon. One of the most fascinating aspects of the small habits revolution is its discussion of momentum. Guise explains that when a person takes a small action, they often end up doing more than they originally intended. A person who commits to flossing just one tooth may find themselves flossing their entire mouth. Someone who starts by doing a single squat might feel inclined to do 10. This bonus effect helps small habits grow naturally, without forcing larger commitments. In contrast to traditional goal-setting strategies, which often emphasize motivation and willpower, this approach is about designing habits that make success inevitable. Guise suggests that we should structure our environment in ways that encourage these small behaviors. For example, if someone wants to drink more water, they can place a water bottle in a visible location. If they want to read more, they can keep a book on their bedside table. By reducing friction and making habits more accessible, we increase the likelihood of consistency. The book also addresses common challenges in habit formation, such as the fear of imperfection. Many people avoid taking action because they believe that if they can't do something perfectly, it isn't worth doing at all. Guise dismantles this perfectionist mindset, arguing that doing something, no matter how small, is always better than doing nothing. Even a single minute of effort can be the difference between progress and stagnation. He also discusses how habits interact with emotions, noting that positive reinforcement plays a crucial role in making habits stick. If a habit feels rewarding, we are more likely to repeat it. Guise suggests celebrating even the smallest successes to create a positive feedback loop. This can be as simple as mentally acknowledging the completion of a habit or associating it with a pleasurable experience. Throughout the book, Guys provides real-world examples of individuals who have transformed their lives through small habits. One example is a man who struggled to exercise regularly. Instead of forcing himself into an exhausting routine, he started by simply putting on his running shoes every morning. Eventually, this small act led to daily jogging, which then evolved into a full-fledged fitness routine. Another example is a woman who wanted to write a novel but felt overwhelmed by the magnitude of the task. She started by writing just one sentence per day, which led to paragraphs, pages, and eventually an entire book. The book also explores the power of chaining habits together. Guys introduces the concept of habit stacking, where a new habit is linked to an existing one. For instance, someone who already brushes their teeth every morning can attach a new habit, such as doing one push-up, immediately after. By connecting new behaviors to existing routines, habits become easier to remember and integrate into daily life. Toward the end of the book, Guys highlights the long-term impact of small habits. While the immediate effects may seem minor, the cumulative impact over months and years can be profound. A person who reads just one page a day will have read over 300 pages in a year. Someone who writes just one sentence daily will have written an entire book over time. The key takeaway is that consistency beats intensity in the long run. Finally, Guys encourages readers to start immediately, emphasizing that there is no perfect moment to begin. The best way to implement small habits is to take action now, even if it seems trivial. By starting with the smallest possible step, we eliminate excuses and make progress inevitable. He reassures readers that success isn't about making massive changes overnight but about committing to tiny, sustainable actions that accumulate into something powerful. In conclusion, the Small Habits Revolution presents a refreshing, science-backed approach to self-improvement that contrasts sharply with traditional goal-setting methods. By focusing on the smallest possible actions and removing barriers to success, individuals can create lasting change in their lives. The book is a compelling reminder that true transformation isn't about grand gestures but about the simple, consistent habits that shape our identity and future. If you're ready to change your life but feel overwhelmed by where to start, this book offers a revolutionary yet simple solution. Start small. Stay consistent. And watch as your habits transform not just your routines but your entire sense of self.